On the news tonight, Buhari returns to Abuja. We recorded over 12.9 million cyber attacks on presidential poll, says FG. Gbajabiamila denies lobbying for chief of staff position in Tinubu's government. Buhari's government has history of disobeying court orders. Falana. Also, APC chairman's mother, police declare Bauchi rep Yakubu Shehu wanted. And going to the next, DSS stormed Kirikiri prison after threat to Oshubaju daughter's life. We're also brought to you kidnappers in Southwest Forest, hunters. And lastly, Osimhen and partnership with his other player, Quav wrestler, very efficient. This is the news coming from BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari is back to Abuja from his hometown, Daura, Katsina State, where he had gone to cast his vote for the gubernatorial and state assembly elections that was postponed to March 18, 2023. While in Daura, the president received the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and the All Progressive Congress APC gubernatorial aspirant of Kano State, Nasiru Gawuna, and also had a party with his former classmate who visited him as his resident. The president also inspected a guard of honor at Umaru Musa Yaradua International Airport shortly before his departure. He is expected back in Daura on Friday for the gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections on Saturday. Going on to the next story. The federal government has revealed that not less than 12.9 million cyber attacks from within and outside the country were recorded during the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Pentemi, who disclosed these, said on elections day alone, over 6.9 million attacks were recorded. He announced the attacks were successfully blocked owing to the sophisticated infrastructure on grounds by different agencies of government charged with the responsibility of protecting the nation's cyberspace. Pantemi commended President Muhammadu Buhari for providing the enabling environment for agencies of government to perform their assignment without let or hindrances. The minister, in a statement by his media aide, Uwa Suleiman, noted that in the build-up to the presidential elections, threat intelligence revealed an astronomical increase in cyber threat to Nigeria's cyberspace. Going on to the next story. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has denied rumors that he is lobbying to become Chief of Staff to President-elect Bola Tinubu. Gbajabiamila was absent when elected members of the National Assembly were at the International Conference Center (ICC) in Abuja to receive their certificate of return. There were reports that Gbajabiamila's absence was because he is eyeing a Chief of Staff position when Tinubu is sworn in by May 29, 2023. However, speaking with journalists in Abuja on Monday, Gbajabiamila denied the report. I don't know anything about the Chief of Staff team, Gbajabiamila said. All I heard was that I didn't come here last week to pick up my certificate, and for that reason, somebody conjectured that must be about something about Chief of Staff. I was in Lagos and I could not leave Lagos because I was campaigning for my party. That's number one. Going on to the next story. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana said that President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government has a history of disobedience to court orders. Falana stated these while speaking in an interview with Channels TV Politics Today on Monday. He said, "It is very sad. I do hope that this outgoing government would comply with the judgment in the totality." Falana, who berated the federal government for disobeying the Supreme Court order, said the federal government has not instructed banks to begin the issuance of collection of old bank notes. He said the central bank has now been asked to make a statement allowing banks to comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. Again, as I said before now, this can only happen in the banana republic. And to the next story on the world news this hour. The Bauchi State Police Command has declared a House of Representative member, Yakubu Abdullahi Shehu, wanted for alleged murder. The security agency also placed a bounty of 1 million naira on the lawmaker representing Bauchi Federal Constituency. Shehu was elected on the platform of the People's Redemption Party, People's Redemption Party, but defected to All Progressive Congress. A special Police Gazette Bulletin CB2685/BSX/ the number was issued on Tuesday by Police Public Relations Officer SP Ahmed Wakil. The bulletin said that the Nigerian Police Force, under the authority of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Kalibaba, is searching for Shehu. The politician is wanted in connection with a case of criminal conspiracy, causing grievous hurt, inciting disturbances of public peace, and culpable homicide. The police want valid information that will lead to the arrest of an interrogation for the arraignment on criminal charges. And going back to Lagos State from the north, the Department of State Services, DSS, has deployed its operative to Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison in Lagos. Daily Post learned on Tuesday. The personnel, said to be more than a dozen, arrived at the penitentiary located in the Apapa area late afternoon of Sunday, March 12th. Their presence is linked to an alleged attempt on the life of one of the daughters of the Vice President, Yemi Oshibajo. Oshibajo, a former Commissioner of Justice in Lagos, and his wife, Dolapo, have two daughters, Damilola and Koinsola, and a son, Finyifulua. Since arrival at Kirikiri, the DSS agents have been patrolling inside and outside the premises in search of an individual who issued a serious threat. Information gathered that the target, suspected to be an inmate, used a mobile phone with a Secret Service tracked to the location. The DSS has been there since Sunday evening, and of course, their presence has brought about some panic. The officers believe the person they are looking for is in one of the cells or somewhere around the prison, a source hinted. DSS Public Relations Officer Peter Afunaya requested a text message when contacted for a reaction. There was no reply as of time of filing this report. Moving on to the next story. The national president of Solidar Hunters and Security Association, Dr. Nurini Anabi, has said there are still hundreds of bandits and kidnappers who are hibernating in the forests of southwest states. He gave this hint while speaking with newsmen in Ibadan. According to the hunters president, all the hideouts of the bandits have been discovered, and very soon the hunters will start combing the forest where they are hiding. Information moves forward. When asked how he discovered the hideout of the bandits, he said as hunters, they are always in the bush, adding that it was during the hunting expedition that they sighted the kidnappers. And he said kidnappers are still in our forest in the 6 states of the southwest. They have not gone away. They only suspended kidnapping. I will plead with our leaders in the zone to be careful and vigilant. And to the next story. Operatives of the Ogun Police Command have arrested a 33-year-old woman, Ifeoma Osai, for allegedly killing a 50-year-old landlord, Monday, Surulere Oladele, over a minor disagreement. Our correspondent reported that the suspect was arrested following a report lodged at Songota Divisional Police Headquarters by one Olale Taiwo. Taiwo had reported to the police that his brother Oladele had a fight with his tenant over an electricity bill, and in the process, the said tenant grabbed his manhood and dragged him with it. According to him, the landlord fell on the ground and he was rushed to the General Hospital, Ota, where he was later confirmed dead. The police spokesperson, Abimbola Oyemi, on Tuesday said following the report, the DPO Ota Division, Sale Dahiru, led his detective to the scene where the suspect was promptly arrested and taken to custody for investigation. Upon interrogation, the suspect claimed that the deceased asked her to pay for electricity bill, but she insisted that until water is directly connected to her apartment, as promised by the landlord before she packed in, she will not pay electricity bill or pay any other utility bill. The deceased subsequently slumped and he was rushed to the hospital where he was confirmed dead. Oyemi quoted the Commissioner of Police, Frank Omba, to have ordered the immediate transfer of the suspect to the police headquarters homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation and diligent prosecution. Moving on to the next story coming from the foreign. The International Criminal Court will open 2 cases against Russian officials over the invasion of Ukraine, the New York Times reported on Monday. A spokesman for the Office of ICC Prosecutor Karim Khan said it offers no comment about this story. In its report, the New York Times said the first case involved Russia's alleged abduction of Ukrainian children who were then sent for adoption or to re-education camps. The second case alleges that Russia forces deliberately targeted civilian infrastructure such as power and water plants while missiles attacks these facilities. To complete the story for this hour, which is the world news, is a sports story. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti has described Victor Osimhen's partnership with Napoli teammate Kvaratskhelia as very efficient. Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia have been key to Napoli's push for a 4th Serie A title since 1989-1990 season. The Super Eagles striker has scored 19 goals, while his counterpart has 11 in Serie A this season. Speaking to Sky Sport Italia on Tuesday on the eve of the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 against Liverpool, Ancelotti gave his thoughts on the Napoli striker duo. The great player is doing well with Osimhen. They are very efficient. The former AC Milan coach praised Italian clubs for their performance in the Champions League this season so far. That ends the world news this hour from BGI TV Current. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari returns to Abuja from hometown, Dara. We recorded over 12.9 million cyber attacks on presidential poll, FG. Gbajabiamila denies lobbying for chief of staff position during Tinubu's government. Naraswa Buhari's government has history of disobeying court order, Femi Falana says. And on sport, Osimhen and partner are very efficient. That's coming from the sport. For more updates on our YouTube handle, the handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. For more updates of your advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.